You had your time, but it isn't now. Locker rooms talking, I need you to zip it now.
Recording in progress. Mitch, how you doing, man?
Oh boy, listen, man. I didn't tell you this, or maybe I did, but I can't remember because I got so disoriented / deflat drunk on Friday night. So here in Alberta,
Hold on, I could read between the lines. Hey,
oh,
you mentioned it. You kind of subtly mentioned it. I never followed up. I just said, you know what? Guy had a crazy night. I get it. You dropped it a couple times. We never talked about it.
Well, here's the story. I'll give you the Coles note, maybe a little bit more than Coles note. It's Alberta's open up a little bit. The patios are open. Kat says, "Hey, do you mind if we take the little guy over to Grandma and Grandpa's and we'll do a date night? We haven't done date night in a very long time." Absolutely sounds great. She orders an Uber. She knew, we both wanted to have a couple of drinks and just not worry about the drive, right?
So hold on.
Problem.
Did you open the door for her?
Great question. She got to the door before I did, so no.
It's an Uber. It's not your car.
Good point. Good point. I stand corrected. You're right.
See?
So for those that don't know, we argued about this earlier. So anywho's, what's weird, P.S., they have the shield across the back seats, right? Which is totally fine. Both of us are wearing masks and the guy in the front's wearing a mask. I'm like, in a lot of ways, this doesn't make any sense, right? But anyways, I digress.
I get it.
Yeah. Well, not just that. It's like the shield is to protect him from me and her. We're in the same car together. So if I had anything, I could pull my mask down, I felt, but not allowed. But anyways, I go.
Mitch, let me tell you something. Okay. If they can't figure out how to get the condom or birth control 100% effective, COVID and a shield, it's not even close.
Well said, partner. Well said. So we go and have a fine little meal over at a pub right by our house. We go there. And then we went to, the illustrious Cousin Friday. Old Cousin Jim and the whole crew all together for the first time in a year.
No.
And you know what? When we pulled up and they knew I was in an Uber, it's like they took, they took advantage of me. They knew I couldn't withhold. They knew I couldn't stand. And dude, I'm not going to lie to you. Over the year, it's not like I haven't indulged, but I haven't gotten, I don't get wrecked at my own house by myself.
Yeah, high school drunk, basically.
But I also felt like, when I'm pouring a drink and doing the podcast with you over the last year, I pour a little bit more than 1 ounce. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and tell you otherwise. But I don't know what the hell was being poured at my cousins. But dude, I woke up Saturday morning like this. Where am I? What happened? How did I get home? I had to check to see if I had my wallet, my keys. Even though I knew we got Ubered home, I have to admit, I don't remember lots. So
here's my question to you then. And I knew it. Hey, I was going to ask you, thank you just for sharing it with everyone. My question to you is this: as we get older, we go through the same story. Whenever the hangover kicks in and whatnot, you're like, I'm too old for this stuff. It lasts far too many days. I can't recover. It's not worth it. What am I doing? I'm a dad now. I can't get drunk like this. Blah, 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 blah. Now, is it worth it?
No. The answer is right off the bat, not even. No, dude, I can't. It took me a full day. And here's the cherry on top. I'm going to admit it. And I feel like I got to come clean. I had to throw up. I threw up. At 42 years old, I threw up the next day because my body's going, what are you doing? You're not 20 anymore. Grow up, buddy. P.S. Here's a message from your buddy. Buddy.
Funny you say that, Mitch. I got high school drunk this past year as well. And the next day, it was called the next morning, but not quite morning. Like I didn't wake up in the middle of the night, but it was just like really early morning, right? Like I worked on a farm or something. And yeah, man, same thing. I had to throw up as well. It was like my body forgot what it was like to get elegantly wasted.
Yeah.
In excess, by the way, for those that know what I'm talking about.
Well done.
But you know what? I realize and this is why I ask. You always say, like, is it worth it? Is it? Because when you're going through it, when you're with your boys, when you're with your family, our wives or whatever, you get, I think the problem is the feeling at that time is what you're really looking for. laughing and joking and having fun. And I will say this, that the buzz from alcohol, that's the good feeling. When you have a couple and you just, you're in the mood, right? But that's also the dangerous point as well. And overall, at this stage, it really isn't worth it. You almost have to get drunk.
No.
I'm not kidding. You almost have to plan as you get older for when you get drunk on a long weekend. It's got to be long weekend or holidays.
Or you just have to be perma drunk. Like, dude, for years, you
got to be perma drunk. You're right.
My family owns.
See, that's why I went Bud Light.
Bud Light, good for you.
Not full Bud, Bud Light.
Bud Light. That's right. So with the family owning Bonacera, home of the 10-cent chicken wing,
Wednesdays and Saturdays.
I see a few clients out there that great people, good people, but I honestly wonder, I actually question, when are they sober? And I think I've answered my own question. They never are. They just have to be this way because, dude, the up and the down is too much. It's too much. And I got to be honest, you will never hear from me ever again. The old Hodge is gone. He's gone. God rest.
We really think that they resurfaced.
I miss him so much already. I miss him so much. I'm such a loser.
Man, gone are those days. I think we can all attest to the fact, like, I've been on some benders, man. Like, you guys all know me, all my friends, everyone knows me. I think me and you are very similar. Like, it's Frank the Tank. Once it hits your lips, it's full throttle. Line up the shots. Let's go.
That's what my wife said. She goes, "You just don't know when to stop." I'm like,
my wife
but why? But why should I? It's so good.
I have this argument with David all the time. She's like, "You never want to leave, and you don't know when to stop." And I said, "Okay, hold on a second. Yeah. Why would I leave when I'm having an amazing time? It's like when I'm trying to please you. Do you want me to leave halfway?
Yeah.
No.
You want me to, exactly.
You want me to finish the job. Okay.
Yeah.
So here I am just trying to finish the job until it all comes out. Right.
All right. With that being said, 169 RLRT, there's a start that you're not going to hear anywhere else. That's just what you're going to get with us. So Saturday, right off. Sunday, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm doing the Instagram stuff. I'm doing this. And why? Because Sunday, June the 6th, if I remember correctly, it's Logan Paul versus the Mayweather. Let's get right into it right away. Because, dude, I looked at the numbers. I found out it was about 600,000 to 650,000 pay-per-view buys. Plus Showtime was promoting it. Plus the streaming. Plus the Fanimo is what it's called, where you can kind of stream and stuff. Long story short, Dimitri, what were your thoughts on the big hoopla that was the Mayweather and the Logan Paul this past weekend?
Ooh, we're starting the show like this. That's amazing. Look, let's just get one thing out of the way. We're going to get into the show. I'm going to get into all this, but remember, to get into that, you got to get into ours at RLRT Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, Real Locker Room Talk. If it's on Facebook, the brand new RLRT TV, our YouTube channel. Catch the whole episodes and your favorite clips. Please, rosters, subscribe to it. You'll be doing us a favor. And of course, the podcast, Podbean, Spotify, iTunes. Now, let's get into it because there's a lot of layers, Mitch, that I want to dissect. First thing, overall, did this do its job? The answer is yes. 100% delivered. It delivered from an entertainment standpoint. It delivered from a monetary standpoint, because I'm going to tell you something, roster, 600 to 650, depending what the final actually tally number comes by, pay-per-view buys.
Those were pay-per-view, yeah.
Is more than a lot of the elite boxers today even get. So the spectacle, it did its job. Moving it to Sunday, people thought it was worried, didn't matter, did its job. Did you get 8 rounds of boxing? Yeah, you did. You got to see a show. It did its job. Did the people do their part? And it's very important what I'm just saying, because I'm going to dissect it. Did the people and the boxers do their part? Yes, they did. Now, you're going to say, Dimitri, what do you mean they did their part? Floyd Mayweather is arguably the greatest boxer of all time, definitely the best of his era, undefeated, blah, blah, blah. And he and Logan Paul, a YouTube star with really one or two, whatever professional fights under his belt, went 8 rounds.
Yeah.
Guys, let me tell you something. Okay. Let me explain to you something. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is retired. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is not doing these to box. He rarely trains. For this one, I mean, he always stands around in shape, and he was just having fun. He was sparring. Okay.
Mhm.
And when did he turn on the jets? Only when he needed to. So go watch the fight again and go see what he was really trying to do. And then go watch his fight against a guy like Maidana the second time around. Go watch his fight against Canelo Alvarez. And then watch his fights against McGregor, Tenshin, and Logan Paul. And you tell me if he fights the same style. Okay. That's all you need to do. Go watch some clips. Floyd Mayweather carried this guy to allow for an entertainment standpoint. It's an exhibition. It doesn't have anything on record. Okay. So he went in and was just having fun. Could he have eliminated him in the first round? 100%. At any time he wanted. At any time he wanted, no matter the 30 pounds, no matter the this, that guy could have taken care of business. And as a matter of fact, there was a point in the fight in which he did. And he held him up and he saved his butt and he didn't allow him to go down. Why? Because this guy is smarter than you realize. You know, we have a TV show that's Mitch and I's favorite. It's called The Sopranos. And why is The Sopranos timeless? Because it gave you this really ambiguous ending that for years and years and years and years, all that we talked about was what happened. Did Tony Soprano die? Did he not die? What's Floyd doing? You think if he walks in and takes care of this guy in 30 seconds, that you, pay-per-view buyer, you, fan, are going to turn around and buy any other ones? You think you're going to pay 50, 60, 70 bucks because you know Floyd's going to walk in and then it's going to be a one-round show? This isn't like Mike Tyson where things were on the line and it was exciting. No, you don't want to see Floyd Mayweather go in for 30 seconds. You don't want to pay 50 bucks for that. But you want to know what you do want to pay 50 bucks for? A rematch, a match against his brother, a match against another guy where now you say, oh my God, he's over the hill. And what if? He played his part geniusly. Credit to Logan Paul. He's played his career geniusly. This guy, I got to give him more props than anyone. There are people lining up in the boxing world that would have loved the money fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr., and they couldn't get it. And this guy did. So my hat's off to you. Amazing money, amazing event. It worked out, and there was a nice mutual respect on both sides. And if the money team and the Mayweather camp has set up another pay-per-view exhibition fight where people are going to be intrigued. Because what are people talking about right now? Oh, he's 50-1. Oh, he got some shots in. You don't think that his brother, you don't think Jake Paul was TikToking and doing all that because it's part of the sell? I'm just saying, complete success, Mitch.
Wow. You know, I knew I was going to trigger you. I didn't know it was going to be like this. I'll say this about the fight. In my recovery on Sunday, sitting on the couch and watching this and YouTubing it and all that fun stuff, this is the thing I found about it. I was more entertained than I thought I was going to be. Mayweather was not, to your point, Mayweather did not take this serious. He had a beard on. Like, for a lot of people know, like I score the beard. I'm still the belief that I started the beard, but that's a different topic for a different day. The reality is that he wasn't in his elite physical self. So, and did he even really train for it? To Dimitri's point, all day long, no, he didn't. He didn't care. He was in enough shape to say, at least decent, I'm coming into this fight. On the other side, Logan Paul looked fantastic. The guy worked out hard. He was doing everything he could. And at 30 pounds heavier, I thought he did good. I thought he did well for a guy that's not he basically, with a lot of respect, has 2 more fights, 3 more fights than you and I, and a lot more followers and a lot more money than we do. So take us and put us against Mayweather. This is my mentality behind it. And I say to myself, you know what? How would we have done? Would we have lasted 8 rounds? And maybe not. I don't know. The point of the matter is it doesn't matter. These guys did what they were supposed to do. They got the ratings. They got the people that normally would never even think about getting a pay-per-view boxing match, and they got them to buy it. And that, at the end of the day, with Johnny Hockey sitting across from us via Zoom a couple of weeks ago, he literally made me realize that that's all this is about. It isn't about how good you are at boxing or if he can knock you up. Mayweather was never going to let you knock him out. In fact, there was a small little 10-second tirade where Logan kind of got the edge on Mayweather. Yes, it looked good, but there was no damage done. Zero, nothing, no points scored. Couldn't agree more. Now, to fight you a little bit, I don't think that hit that he had where he's holding him up, where you think he knocked him out. I don't think he knocked him out. I think when he's 30 pounds heavier, and if he is dead weight at that moment and he's about to fall, he's going to fall. Mayweather can't hold you up. Okay. With all due respect. So I get why that video leaked or it looks that way, but I don't think that's what happened. I think he was definitely staggered. I think he was on his way down. And I think a normal fight, Mayweather would have moved his body and probably punched him one more time and sent him down. I'll give you that. But do I think he knocked him out at that moment? No, I don't. The only thing I kind of came across in this whole thing is that weight classes matter. They do matter. Like even at 30 pounds, Logan went 8 rounds with this guy. Okay. And to your point, this was a glorified sparring match. That's all this was. And you know what? It did its part. Mayweather is the marketing genius behind everything. Well played, well done. It did its part. Going forward, do I see him doing again? I don't think so. And this is my fault. I think there's other things that he can put his money towards where he doesn't get involved, Dimitri, because this coming weekend in the exact same stadium where the Super Bowl was played, where they fought, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, it's TikTokers versus the YouTubers. So the way I look at it, people are excited about the bike rack fights. So remember when we were in junior high or high school and you'd be like, holy crap, man, Mikey's fighting Gary at the bike racks. We got to go. This is the exact same thing, just no cameras around and no social media at the time. This is no different. Bottom line, people are salivating at the idea of watching random people fight. And I the only worry, and I'll leave it on this because I don't want to carry it on too far. I think it's great for boxing, but I also, in a slight way, this is a little slight to their profession. You know what I mean? That any 2 people can just fight and people want to, as long as they have a lot of followers, people will watch them. But the guy that's actually getting up at 4 a.m. and running and trying to become the world champion, like our buddy Georgie Cambosos, who's about to go on that endeavor, our friend Alex Torres, it's a little disrespect to them, my opinion. I haven't heard. I want Alex's input on this sooner than later.
We're gonna get him on, and you have a point. You have a great point. My argument to that is promotions have always been a part of boxing, and actually, boxers shouldn't be insulted about these people taking some of their spotlight. They should be ashamed, Mitch. This is part of what it is that they need to be doing. Now follow me on this.
Yeah.
Instagram is open to everyone.
Yeah.
YouTube, Twitter, so on and so forth. And if Mayweather can do it, if Canelo can do it, if guys like Ryan Garcia, if they can do it, then they should start doing it too. And just like in any other business, businesses have changed. Social media is a part of business. People don't advertise in the newspaper anymore, Mitch. So do we have to feel sorry for the guy who's in the back pages of the newspaper? No. Hey, no. Get on the internet. Get on So, hey, professional boxer out there, let me tell you something. George Cambosos gets it. Okay. Not only does he got an undefeated record, but he's used social media to his advantage to help get him out of Australia as well. So I don't have sympathy for these guys, Mitch. Get on there and start promoting yourself. Floyd Mayweather did it. He got a team around him. Mind you, Andy has the skill. He has but again, there
and billions of dollars.
and what? But he didn't, Mitch. But he didn't at the start.
True.
And so my point to that is no, I don't feel sorry for them. You guys got to get on the horn and do a better job of marketing yourselves out there. Number two, I want to go back to one thing and then we'll move on, where you said, with the knockout. Mitch, I'm going to tell you why he did hold him up, and I'm going to tell you why he didn't want him to go down. It's the same reason that he kind of took it easy on him. Mitch, he's an untrained guy. He would have killed that kid. He would have killed. Now think about this. Think about it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He knows that you can't, if you haven't taken punches like that. I mean, even little tricks, knowing that when you take a punch, you got to bury your chin down, making sure you block it in your shoulder, rolling off the punch, these tricks that these boxers, we don't see it in the split second, but they're doing that, Mitch, and it saves their lives. This guy could have gotten horribly hurt. And remember, if he goes down,
right,
and even if he gets up, now Mayweather's like, now I have to finish this kid. And if he goes in and that guy's stumbling around stunned and his bell's rung, and he goes and finishes him after that, this is big damage. This is why professionals don't fight complete amateurs. Okay. I really think that Floyd's like, I can't let this kid go down, because then I'm going to have the pressure and I'm going to have to go in and literally finish him. And I don't think he wanted to finish him. I'm telling you, I really believe that he saved his life. Now, against Conor McGregor, no, he didn't try doing that. They stopped the fight and he really was going for it. Right. But
different guys.
Him,
yeah,
Mitch.
I get it. No, listen, I'm not completely disagreeing. And I see your point. I still think that when you're 30 pounds heavier and that quick of a motion, like it's all happening so fast, Floyd doesn't know when he's going to go down. And so I think that the only reason I don't believe that particular clip, do I think he could have finished him anytime? Yes. Do I think he was done at that moment? No. Because if he's falling, you ain't catching him. Floyd's not going to catch him. I don't give a shit what you say. Like, he's 30 pounds heavier. He's exactly. From there, we go to quick pick six. You ready, partner?
Ready, partner.
Here we go. Maradona, infamous play, hand of God. Till this day, was it the hand or no hand?
No hand.
Would Aaron Rodgers, if drafted number 1 over Alex Smith, have ever won 3 MVPs and 1 Super Bowl?
Yes.
Come, hey. Oh, Allen Iverson chooses basketball over football. In hindsight, did he make the right move?
Completely did.
You know what? Because I don't know, for a lot of people know, Allen Iverson was a MAGA football player. I don't know if you ever saw some clips. This dude was talented. When Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, he was 37-0. I didn't know this. If he had ended up beating him, would he have ended up undefeated?
No, Lennox Lewis would have stopped him at any point they met.
You thinking?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I thought to myself, that was the roller coaster down moment.
No.
Was Kurt Warner was better at stocking shelves or at football or throwing footballs?
I gotta say it's a tie. I got good at both.
I heard they were upset when he left. That's what I heard. Worst loss for the city of Buffalo: 4 Super Bowls, or Brett Hall and the botched call with his foot in the crease, 99.
No, 4 Super Bowls, man.
See, I think about this
because
this
it was 4 in a row.
Okay, hold on. I agree, but watch this. The first one was the kick. That one's devastating. Okay. The other 3 were complete blowouts.
Mitch, 4 in a row.
But Bret Hart's foot was deliberately in the
Bret
crease.
Hart. You said Bret Hall.
Oh, Bret Hall. And Bret Hart too was probably in the crease, and they didn't call that either.
Yeah. Well, he is they're both sharp shooters.
And by the way, I watched the A&E this weekend.
Oh man.
Can I just say?
Do it. If you don't do it, I'll do it.
Unbelievable. You got me on it. And a couple of weeks prior to that was the Ultimate Warrior. I'm not going to lie to you. Trina's watching with me. She's getting emotional. I almost cried on the Ultimate Warriors one. I don't know what's gone into me. I don't know what's happening.
But you know what? A&E is doing such an amazing job with these things. It's not even funny. And you know, the other thing too is that the one they did with Bret Hart. Now he's a Calgary guy. He's our guy. He's our guy. You know, like this was my brother's favorite wrestler. I mean, he's one of my favorite wrestlers. You know, all time, no question about it. But he, you know, when you get to see the whole story, like from the, you know, with the Hart family and everything and so on and so forth, it is, you know, it's absolutely phenomenal. And it was a nice, I just like that the Montreal screw job portion, it didn't bleed and take over everything like it usually tends to do when you're talking about Bret Hart or interviewing Bret Hart. Because it kind of bugs me, because at least this one you can finally see like this generation, like, dude, do you understand how good this guy was? Like when you talk excellence of execution, he actually is. Like, is there a better guy in the ring, Mitch?
No, there wasn't. Right now, who's going crazy right now? Superfan Ryan and South Carolina George are just going, I hate you guys for not going live anymore.
So I nerded out.
I
I nerded out during it because I told you I went to school with a couple of Bret Hart's children.
Sure.
We were legitimate friends. We were compadres at one point.
But not anymore.
Well, not anymore. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of the loop.
Out. You got out of the loop.
But it was funny. I said to Thumb, and I'm like, I know them. Right? Like, you know, like you just geek out for 5 minutes. It's so funny. But no, really well done. Really cool. Loved it.
Do you know what Bret Hart loves outside of wrestling? Hockey.
Yeah.
It's time. NHL playoffs. And boy, oh boy, what the hell happened this week? You know, I got to be honest. I'm sorry that the Logan Paul talk went a little longer than it should have. I'm sorry that I started with my drunk talk, because there was a fiasco and a craziness that has ensued in the NHL playoffs this year, that the fact that we've waited, like, call it half an hour into this podcast before we even got to it, I have no idea. But here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the first team to make it to the NHL Stanley Cup semifinals, it's not Tampa Bay. It's not the Islanders. It's not the Vegas Knights or Colorado. It's the team from the north that no one had any inkling. Maybe Johnny Hockey a little bit. The Montreal Canadiens sweep the Winnipeg Jets in 4 straight. Buddy, what is going on? What is going on in this world? I mean, COVID's already thrown us for a loop. Is this just part of the COVID thing, man? Is this what's happening? Are you impressed? Are you not entertained?
You know what? I think part of sports and being a sports fan is to expect the unexpected, whether you like it or hate it or not. You know, the good thing is at least you're watching a league where any one of your teams has a chance. It's not clear cut and dry as the NBA has been in years past, in which we'll get to as well. Because the NBA is going through, you know, a couple different
changing
teams.
of the guard.
Yes. Look, Scheifele wasn't a factor. Even if the guy's playing, you watch this whole series, the way it's been going down, Montreal was just all over them. They tasted the blood. They really got, you know, when they beat the Maple Leafs, then they just said, no, like, we can't beat anyone. This is David versus Goliath now. Right. And they're the David. And to sweep a team. Yeah. I can't say you really call it. That's very hard to do. But to beat the Winnipeg Jets, I'm completely not surprised at all. I think the Scheifele was just the icing on the cake for them. But it wasn't the difference maker. You know who the difference maker was? Carey Price, the defense, the third lines, the fourth. Like, you know, see what I'm doing here? This whole team has bought right in to the way they need to play. And I talked about Toronto, which was my early favorite. And why did I believe in Toronto? Because they got some really good character players. Well, Montreal did the same, but they got better ones. And when you're looking at guys like Corey Perry and Eric Stahl that have been there before, but the hunger that they have to want to be there again. These are 2 guys that won the Stanley Cup when they were really young in Carolina and Anaheim. And now they're like, you know what? Like, we got to get back. We got to get like, it's actually fun to see. So I'm not surprised, Mitch, with this one.
Dude, the more and more, and I don't want to jinx them because, buddy, they're 7-0 in the last. They were down 3-1, so they had to win 3 straight, and they end up sweeping Winnipeg. Montreal is just, I've always said this: going into the playoffs, you want to be the hot team going in. Yeah, they were kind of hot going in because they had to make it to get in. They had to beat the Flames and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they were kind of in that quote unquote playoff mode before they got in there. Fine. Toronto takes a 3-1 lead. And all of a sudden they say, hey guys, maybe we should turn it up a little bit. Let's play a little bit. Let's make it respectable. They win the second, the third, and the fourth game. And then all of a sudden Winnipeg comes in. And when they won that first game against Winnipeg, I'm not going to lie to you. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I think they're going to sweep these guys. It wasn't expected. And so here we go. Montreal right now is going to represent the North. They're representing Canada. Weirdly enough, the last team that won the Stanley Cup for Canada, the Montreal Canadiens. I look at the list of the guys on this team and I go at Toffoli, Caulfield, who's the Hobart Baker, the college NCAA Collegiate Player of the Year. He comes in last minute. He's, been a big factor, not just a marketing guy, like maybe just bring in that rookie guy. Let's pump up the team. Suzuki. Hey, his dad was a big guy on CBC. I don't know if it's his dad, but hey, it makes sense to me. I think it's that David Suzuki, the environmental guy. This dude is on fire as well.
How does that guy go from filming about nature and animals to playing hockey? I don't get it.
Well, how did that happen? This other guy that I'm just absolutely in love with all of a sudden, Aria, this guy is just in every play. And then the 2 guys that, in my opinion, are making it all happen. Corey Price. Is it weird? See, there's certain guys, Dimitri, in this league, in this sport and other sports as well, that just are winners. Corey Perry, Hart Trophy winner. He won MVP of the NHL a couple of years ago, but he won it. Memorial Cup, he has won it. This guy also has been a Stanley Cup champion. This guy knows how to win. Last year, Johnny Hockey called. He goes, Dallas is going to go there, blah, blah, blah. Who happens to be on that team? This guy. Look, I don't know if they're going to win the Stanley Cup. I'd love to see it happen. But at the end of the day, why is it that big of a surprise? This team is just built top to bottom with grinders, with fighters, guys that want to win. Respect to the Montreal Canadiens, and then throw in Mr. Price. Here's a guy that, I'll be one of the first ones to say I felt like Montreal maybe should have got off him earlier. He's still one of the most dominant goaltenders in the league. Yeah, he might not be the save percentage guy or the goals against guy. But I think if you were to take a poll of every NHL guy and say, hey, you need a guy in goal to win you a game, who are you picking? I think the majority of guys are picking this guy. And it's showing again. And if you watched his interview after they swept them, people were asking him questions. Even in his conversation, Dimitri, he was zoned in. He's like, yes, no, yeah, sure. Okay. I like you. I don't like you. Like, he was unreal. I am a big fan of this Montreal team. I don't want to jinx them. I'm not going to say anything about them. Well done, Montreal. Well done. But guess what? You got some competition coming your way. Let's quickly jump over Johnny Hockey's team, the team that he picked, the Jerks from Carolina. They're gone. Why? Because the team that I've been hating on all year, the Tampa Bay Lightning, said, hey, remember us? We're the defending champions. They crushed them 4-1, Dimitri. Tampa Bay, Vasilevsky, all the boys, they're here, man.
Look, the more and more I watch this team, Mitch, it's I'm finding it hard to see if anyone can beat them to win the Stanley Cup. It gets better and better and better and better and better and better. And it's crazy. I like when they throw little stats out. Like, sometimes they're meaningless, but sometimes they're kind of cool. Is that Vasilevsky, what is it, 3rd straight series closing it out with a shutout, which I thought was pretty neat. Look, Tampa Bay is a team that's been there before. Tampa Bay is a team that stayed mostly intact. Tampa Bay is also a team that has like to think they won the Stanley Cup without Stamkos. Now they just have him. And so you forget all of these things. They're on fire. This is going to be very, very difficult for the team that has to play them to beat them. And that team, Mitch, that team that has to play the Tampa Bay Lightning, it's confirmed. Just now, the New York Islanders. And I don't care what you say if the S is silent. Not on Real Locker Room Talk. We
Not here.
pronounce the S.
Always.
We always look, these Islanders, so they just closed out. They beat Boston 6-2. Now, keep in mind, couple empty net goals. But Mitch, I have to cue this up because I got to cue it up for you because every week or every time we're doing predictions, you always got to come up with something stupid, and you always will. And it's not like it's ever going to go away. But this one is, you can confidently say that you called. And there's another thing that you called, and I don't want to jinx it. I'm only going to bring it up if it pans out, because I truly, truly, truly remember this from months back. Maybe you don't. But Mitch, you called the Islanders. You called them to win. Tell us why they won. Tell us. How did you know?
Here's really what it comes down to. It's this team is eerie of a little bit of Montreal. It's built around the coaching, and it's built around Louis Amorello. This guy, he gets cut by Brendan Shanahan. Hey, Lou, listen, it's not working out here in Toronto anymore with us. I know you were in Jersey. You won a few Stanley Cups over there. You haven't done much for us over here. You know, we got this kid. He's good with numbers, so on and so forth. And what do? The Islanders say, hey, you look presentable. You look like somebody that could help us out. Come over here. What are you thinking? And he says, hey, I got a whole bunch of guys. What do you lead? You got this Bailey kid. I like him. You Barzell. I like him. Letty. I like him. But I need a couple of guys. Get me that Pamilleri kid out of the Jersey. Bring him over here. Boom. Bring me a little Clutterbuck. I need some guy that does a little of the grimy shit over in the corner. Boom. Role players. Dude, this Islanders team is a little bit of everything. And they're, in my opinion, just right now, they're a little bit better than Montreal. Tampa Bay is stacked with good players. But if there's a kryptonite to Tampa Bay, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The Islanders can do it. The Islanders, maybe from an NHL point of view, don't want it. But the Islanders are built to knock out Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay can easily win. I know it sounds counterproductive what I'm about to say, but Tampa Bay's stacked with talent. But if this talent is overwhelmed by these guys, this one will be done sooner than you think. Watch out. It's the Islanders. It's Tampa Bay. I'm excited.
I'm really excited too. And Mitch, I think we seem to forget something about the NHL. A lot of sports for that matter, but we're talking hockey right now. If you look at every year, who are the teams that make it down the stretch? And you got to wonder, are they really upsets? Are they really surprises? You know, you got Johnny Hockey a couple weeks ago talking about Montreal and how he believed in them. You got Mitch, our very own Mitch, saying the Islanders, they're tight. Of course, this is going to be the team that's going to make a splash. These are two teams amongst, now we know the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we also know Colorado versus the Vegas Golden Knights with structure. There's no let up. There's no kink in the armor. Okay. And maybe shame on us, shame on me, where you look at certain teams and you understand they got a lot of players, but these are the teams that are cycling through line after line, playing the same type of hockey, and everyone buys in, and it's going and it's going and it's going and it's going. So, you know, well done to them. But you're right. Like this, you know, the Tampa Bay and any team, when you're playing a team like this, remember Tampa Bay got blanked by the Columbus Blue Jackets a few years back, right? Why? Blocking shots, playing gritty, look, you know, it can happen to anyone. The Montreal and the Islanders can happen to anybody. It can happen to anyone.
Now, let me ask you this. Dimitri, you're driving, right? You got this Corvette. You're looking good. ramping it up. You hit the highway. You're smashing it. You're 0 to 60 in 2.1. No faster, no better. It's all
No
good.
dirt on the carburetor.
All of a sudden, whoa, what's going on? Oh, I forgot to load up on the gas. It's Las Vegas. It's Colorado. 2-0 lead for Colorado. Everyone's going, hey, these guys are looking good. But the Vegas Knights said, hey, wait until you come over to our side of the world. 20,000 fans in capacity. They tie the series at 2. The other night, they hit a 3-2 overtime. Dimitri, did Colorado run out of gas on the highway?
So, if there's, I got to praise myself, right? I'm here praising everyone else. Maybe let me, hey,
do a little for yourself. I can't handle this.
Remember I told you that the Vegas Golden Knights, the Golden Buckets, they start slow and they make things harder for themselves, right? So Mitch, you use the analogy of running out of gas. I use the analogy of this is why you stretch before you run and work out, right? You don't want to pull a hamstring.
Great point.
Look, I still think this series can go either way. Nazem Kadri's a good player, not a great player, but he is a centerman, and it does help. And you got to wonder if that 8-game suspension has totally cost them. Look, I think what I saw in the last game is Vegas finally just wake up and remember that they can, they don't have to let people kind of walk all over them for a bit either. And I'm talking from last series. They go and they pop 2 goals right at the beginning of the third and then take care of business in overtime and with 50 seconds in. But Mitch, that third period, I'm telling you right now, that was the best hockey all year. I think they thought that they were playing for the Stanley Cup that night. I think something happened where they're like, oh my God, it's game 7 of the finals. Crazy to watch.
They had PTSD about the Washington series. Yeah.
I like what Vegas has done the past few games, and they're going to be very hard to play against, but Colorado can still win. I still think it's up in the air. I really, really do. I still think it's up in the air because they have the talent. They have the core.
You're absolutely no, there's no denying it. And listen, the only reason I'm kind of against you is twofold. I think when you blow your load early, you're just done. It just is what it is in real life. And
you have all the intentions of going for a second time, but
of course you do. Who doesn't, honey? Give me 5 minutes. But the thing is, 5 minutes is 5 minutes. Time is against you. At the end of the day, Vegas just seems to have caught their stride, and they're buddy. Right now, I'll say this, and I mean it's not a big prediction. If Vegas doesn't knock out Colorado tomorrow night in Las Vegas, then I'll take Colorado in game 7 all day long. But right now, Colorado lost in overtime at home, and they're about to go back to Las Vegas with 20. Like I've always said, Carolina's fans have been crazy. The Nashville fans were maybe even crazier. For years, this Las Vegas crowd, I don't know when the hell they got into the hockey. Like, well, I do, but I don't. You can't stop this.
They love their hockey match.
That home ice advantage in Vegas, and now that they've opened it up, my friend, this is done. If they win at home, it's done. And dare I say, for the rest of the team. So Canada just opened up the borders and said, hey, Montreal, thanks for winning. You're allowed to go over the border now. You can go and play Las Vegas if you need to go. Dude, that Las Vegas advantage, man. I say it jokingly, but I don't. Playing any sport in Las Vegas, and watch the Raiders this year when they might have fans back in the stadium and players can go in, wow, I'm just going to go play some roulette, and then they don't get back until 4 a.m. on game day. It's an actual advantage.
Yeah.
Done. I'm excited. Tampa Bay, Islanders, Montreal, and we'll find out.
We'll find out.
How you doing? From there, you know what I want to find out? This Friday, coming up in a couple of days. Last year, COVID killed it. They killed what the Greeks made popular. I mean, it was kind of popular before, but we made it super popular. It's the UEFA Euro Cup. It's the Euro Championships. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it starts this Friday. They're redoing it. So it's the 2020 version, but in 2021, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Group A, Dimitri. I need you to tell me, who do you think is going to come out of Group A? Here are the 4 teams. Are you ready, partner?
I'm ready, partner.
It's Italy, Turkey, Switzerland, and the Wales. What do you like?
This, you know what? This is going to be a tough one. Look, I'm always going to go with Italy. You know, I love me my Italy. And I'm just, for no rhyme or reason, I'm just going to go with, I'm just going to go with Switzerland on this one. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with a little bit of a weird upset here. I really do.
You mean to tell me Italy, ranked at number 7, is going to lose to, well, Switzerland's 13th and they're down the middle. They're the down the middle guy. Switzerland to advance in Group A.
No. I'm saying Italy's going to advance.
Oh,
but
Italy's
going to advance. But if there's like a second placer, like I know they bought the same.
Yeah. All right.
Right?
Okay.
Like it could. Okay. One winner.
Okay.
One winner.
Gotcha.
One winner, and that's it.
Here we go. Group B, you got Belgium, you got Russia, you've got Denmark, and you have Finland, because Finland's known for their soccer. I can't make fun of them because Greece is not in it this year. Congratulations to you, Finland. Here we go. Who do you like in Group B?
Belgium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 1 ranked UEFA rankings, by the way. Yeah. Who knew? You're French, you're German, you don't know, but you're number 1. That's what that. In Group C, Dimitri, you got the Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, North Macedonia.
You bite your tongue.
Just, you know what? I'm just gonna.
Look,
I'm not gonna say anything.
You know, I actually, believe it or not, conventional wisdom will turn around and say that that the Netherlands will walk away with it, which they probably will. But I think it's a little wide open. You got to keep an eye. Honestly, you got to keep an eye on Ukraine for this one. There could be. But I'm just going Netherlands. I'm gonna be conservative.
I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna go Netherlands. The Ukraine have a couple of problems right now. There's a big country right on their border. They got other things to worry about. I'm looking at Austria. They're better at skiing. North Macedonia. I'll leave it there. And Netherlands, congratulations. You made it to the next round. Group D, it's England, Scotland, Croatia, Czech Republic.
Look, I understand, Croatia, that you made it to the Stanley Cup to the World Cup finals and couldn't get past France. And I also don't think that you're getting past this this group either. And I know I say it every time and I have a soft spot for them, but I do believe England's going to advance this year in that group.
I'm going to tell you this. This is the year that they have to advance. And dare I say, this is the year because of COVID. You know, in other leagues, like we saw the Dodgers, the most talented team, win. We saw, Tampa Bay and all these other teams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Lightning. If England doesn't win it this year, Dimitri, I got to be honest with you. I don't know, man. I know there's a lot of talented players, a lot of talented
teams. Be a lot of dark
England,
days ahead, Mitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I agree with you there. That one I agree.
In Group E, you got Sweden, Poland, Slovakia, and Spain.
I'm going to go with Spain.
Good pick. Your wife's not going to like that pick, but good pick. Group F. Ladies and gentlemen, you say to yourself, but Mitch, which one was the group, the group of death, the one that everyone talks about? Here we go. Portugal, defending 2016. Isn't that crazy that 4 years later they're like, yeah, we're the champs, and they're like, they've gained weight. They don't look anything like it because they haven't been there for a while. It's like 4 years later. All right, Portugal, France, Germany, and I'm sorry, Hungary. Dimitri, who do you like in the group of death? Go.
I still think that France is the team to beat in this one. It's a pretty well oiled machine that they have in France. It's been going for a very long time that way, and the team's still very much intact. So I think they're the team to beat. I'm going to pick France, but oh man, like this is the one where, hey, TV channels, you get these games on prime time any which way you can. What a fun group to watch, because you have all three of them have won the Euro Cup. All three of them have won the Euro Cup in recent history. I mean, what more do you want out of a group? It's crazy. The only tragedy here, like in a perfect world, I'll tell you what would happen in a perfect world, but unfortunately it's not. Well, I shouldn't say it because I guess it could, but in a perfect world, you'd have France, Germany, and Portugal advance, right?
Of
Like
course.
you'd have,
Oh yeah, 100%.
you know, you'd have like Portugal take but that would mean that they got to rack up goals and it's crazy to me. This one's crazy. There's going to be a lot of upset Europeans crying on after week one.
Oh, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So I look at this group F, I look at the group of death, and I say to myself, I love your France pick. I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to take France. I need to take France. I read some reports that they have the most talented team. Like the manager can go to anybody on the bench basically, and they're talented. However, I got to go with the team that is just built, the machine, the Germans. I got to go with them. I'm going to take Germany. I know, and it's weird because we're telling the defending champions to get lost. Get out of here. We don't like you. Get out of here. You guys aren't worth anything. I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you pick to win the Euro 2021 championship?
So conventional wisdom would tell me to stay away from France, but I still think that they're very, very much built to win the Euro Cup. And until I'm proven otherwise, I have to stay with this team. So one thing to note is, so they were my pick for the World Cup. Okay.
Right.
I remember when the World Cup happened, I picked France, and I picked France because people forgot the type of team that they had last Euro. And I mean, World Cup, but last Euro before. And so remember, this team is still very much intact and they don't really have any cracks. I personally think that the odds makers have ranked these teams appropriately. I think that Belgium and France are the best teams in this Euro Cup. I think they are the teams to beat. And unless they play each other, I think you're looking at the final as well. But it's going to be a fun one. But again, these tournaments at all go seeding. Long story short, I know I went in because I'm excited. I love the Euro Cup. France. End of story. I'm picking France.
I'm taking France. Well, this is big because you called it. I want Belgium. Could you imagine? It's France versus Belgium. It's your French against my French / Germans. The baguette versus the chocolate. Like this is you can't beat this. This is what we need. This is what we've been waiting for this for years.
Belgium is the part B to France, and France is the part B to Belgium. I mean, hey, it's like Greece versus Cyprus right here. You know what I mean?
Hey, I like it. It. And you know what? I was looking at it, and as you were talking, and I look at Group F, imagine when, you know how they do the selection, the lottery, and they pick the balls up? That guy, the ball picker in this game, he probably got fired. Like a lot of people's jobs were probably secure during COVID because they're like, hey, it's COVID. Yeah. We don't want, I can't fire you. And then they're picking the balls. They're like, Portugal. And he's like, all right, okay. France. Like, Germany. You're like, that's it. You're out of here. You're fired. You're done. You ball picker. You're gone.
Amazing. Yeah, ball picker.
From there, let's quickly talk about the NBA. I want to talk about one guy, Nick Jokic, winning the MVP. Dimitri, you called it from a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people kind of knew it, but he won overwhelmingly. He had 95% of the votes, basically. Steph Curry was his only competition. So Jokic had 95 votes and Curry had 5. It wasn't unanimous, but it was pretty unanimous. So there it is.
Yeah, look, clear cut and dry, no question the guy's doing it. But I want to point one thing out. Last 3 years, look, we talked about Euroball a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
The last 3 years of MVP, you've got a Greek and a Serb. And again, do not question the Euro ball. Okay.
Don't question it.
Jokic, no surprise. I think when you look at that Slavic contingent, I think it's only a matter of time before Doncic wins an MVP, probably 1 year. When that time will come, who knows? But well deservingly so. And actually, what's impressed me more is everyone wrote them off when they had injuries on that team. Okay. And they said, look, the team can't compete. And I think what I like the most about his MVP win is the leadership quality that he has on that team as well. I'm really liking that over anything, that he's not just the MVP because he is scoring up points and racking up triple doubles, double doubles, whatever. He definitely is the leader on that team, and it's showing, and they've all rallied around him. That's why he's your MVP. Well deserved.
Couldn't agree more. And you know what? I'm super impressed by him. Third rounder. Just going to throw that.
Third rounder.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Done. From there, quickly, French Open. We're to the semifinals. It's Greece's own Tsitsipas versus Djokovic versus Nadal versus Zverev. So we're waiting for the final four to be matched up properly. But who do you got to win the French Open?
I think the matchup's actually going to be Djokovic Nadal, and if it is going to be matched that way, Mitch, I do believe that Djokovic will prevail on this one, but it's going to be tough because Nadal, the last little bit, has had his number. This might be the tournament that he needs. I'm going to go with Djokovic.
I'm going to take, as much as I want to take Tsitsipas, and I will. I feel like this guy's due. He's going to do it. I just want to believe he's going to do it. I'm going to put my money on him. There you go. Done. Fair enough. Now, one thing I want to quickly rant about something, okay? So the other day I'm watching. Your boy Djokovic was playing this guy named Lorenzo Musseri out of Italy. Hey, how you doing? Hey. The guy was down 2 sets, 7-6, 7-6. He's down 2-0. All of a sudden, Djokovic said, hey, hold my water bottle. Hold my tennis ball. He goes up 6-1. Boom. 6-0. Boom. He's up 4-0. And then all of a sudden, Musseri's like, oh, my back. It's a hurt in my back. I can't do this anymore.
I don't want to marry a cannolis.
And I'm so tired. And he gave up. He literally conceded and lost. And my advice to this kid, Lorenzo, he's 19 years old. You had the champ on the ropes. Okay, fine. You didn't win. I get it. I mean, you can't, putting him away is easier said than done. But Dimitri, go down like a man. Take the next 2 points, lose, but to be like, oh, I can't play anymore. My leg hurt, my back hurt, whatever the kid. I don't know, man. This kid almost made a name. I think he kind of hurt his rep by conceding.
He's 19, man. He's 19.
You know what I'm saying?
You got the champ on the ropes. He's 19. You got to give it a try. What are you doing?
You got to try. Let him beat you.
You know what, man? You can't teach toughness. You can't.
No, you can't teach.
Like, oh, my back hurts. I can't. No, I can't do it. It's too much pressure. Too much pressure.
Too much.
Come on, man.
Come on. You had, like, you know what? It's a great story one day for your kids, your grandkids, whoever it is. You're like, I was up at 2-0. Here, look at the video. I was up. It was hot that day. It's hot. He beat me straight. He's a good player.
He's not Djokovic.
He's not Djokovic.
He's not Djokovic.
From there, we go to rapid banter. Here we go, partner. Here we go.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew. In South Africa, a woman just gave birth to 10 kids, breaks the record blessing, or wow.
That's a lot of daycare dollars.
Amanda Nunes asks Kim Kardashian if she wants to fight. Can Kim last a few rounds with Amanda Nunes?
No man can last a few rounds with Amanda Nunes.
Would you rather play with Joe Sakic or Stevie Y in their primes?
You know what? I have a soft spot for the Sakic. I saw him play live. What a gem. I got to go with him. Super Joe for me.
Yeah, I'm a Stevie Y guy. Stevie Y. Boston Bruins head coach Bruce Cassidy was fined $25,000 for public view on the referees. Smart move or keep it to yourself?
Smart move. And why the fine? Let the guy talk, man.
25,000.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. So he gets 25 grand for talking smack about the ref, but some guy like tries to decapitate someone else with their stick or throw a body check and you get 5 G's. What are we doing over here? Come on.
Hey, sticks and stones will never break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I think I said that wrong. Donald Trump has been banned from Facebook for the next 2 years. Should Zuckerberg lift the ban?
Yeah, you know what? Yes. Yes. Because then the TV ratings will go up. You miss them. You may hate them, but you miss them.
Yeah, we all miss them a little bit, just a little bit. Sidney Crosby has now made more than any NHLer of all time. He's made $129 million. Thoughts on Sidney Crosby being the all-time highest paid NHLer?
Justifiably so.
You know what I'm thinking about that? How sad is that? There's some guy sitting on the NBA bench that makes as much as 120.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Kevin Durant recently brought a backup date to his date with porn star Lana Rhoades. Smart play or paying way too much for insurance?
Well, she shouldn't be offended. I mean, 2-for-1s are part of her world anyways.
There it is. Rapid banter for episode 169er. Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah. After the Lana Rhoades talk, I'm more of a Jessa Rhodes. But anyways.
Hey, who's to say? Who's to say? From there, we jump over to Maga Malaka talk this week. With COVID restrictions being lifted all around the world, in some places, they forgot even what COVID was. But here in Alberta and over in Ontario, we still know very well what it's all about. But the fact is, you can go on a date. I started this podcast. I went on a date with my wife. I wish they didn't lift it sooner than later after how I felt on Saturday. But the point of the matter is you're going to start going on dates, you crazy little kids, you. And so you need some help with protocol.
Ooh.
The protocol of dating. You ready?
I like it. I like it.
Here we go. So you're going on a date, Maga Malaka, buying flowers. Maga or Malaka?
Time tested and true, right? Maga. You got to do it.
Maga.
You got to do it.
Here's an old dandy, if you will. Buying candy, Maga or Malaka?
No, Malaka. Everyone's dieting. You got the keto. You got the this. I mean, diabetes is on a high. You can't do it anymore. It's suggestive.
Can't do it anymore. It's
suggestive.
Yeah.
Malaka.
And nut allergies. You don't know if you're, forget about
like
it.
going into anaphylactic shock.
Who knows? Right before it even starts. This is crazy.
I mean, an EpiPen. You know what? Bring the EpiPen. Maga.
Nothing says for Maga on the EpiPen. Let's say pull out the chair at the restaurant. So you go to a restaurant or a bar, you're walking up to the table. Do you pull out the chair, Maga or Malaka?
I'm going to say Maga with an asterisk. You got to work on your chair pull-out game at home. You can't go too far because then you got to push it all the way in. Like if you go too far, then it's like, you got to go in. You can't go too little because then it's awkward. So practice the chair move before you do it, but it is a Maga move.
Yeah, practice on a friend. That's big. I couldn't agree more.
That's it. Hey, Mitch, come over what? I need to do the chair move.
Yeah, I got to do the chair move. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll be there in a second.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. Okay, you're not going to go to a restaurant. Going to a movie as a date, Maga or Malacca?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to MAGA. Look, there's a couple great layers to the movie. It gives you a couple hours where you don't have to engage in conversation. And the other thing is it gives you talking material when you leave. On the way home, you get to talk about the movie. So there's a lot of good things with the movie call.
I see what you're saying there. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I like it. You know what? I wasn't for it originally. I thought maybe it's kind of weird, but okay. Not weird, but I think that's a second or third date.
Yeah, but you
know what
don't
I
do
mean?
the love story movie. You don't
Right.
do you don't do that on the first one.
Mm.
Marvel. Everyone
Marvel.
loves Marvel.
Who doesn't love the Marvel? Who doesn't? From there, let's go to okay. So somebody texts you while you're at the table or at the movie theater, your phone being on, MAGA or Malacca. Maybe not on, answering your phone, MAGA or Malacca.
Malacca. That's not
Yeah.
good. No. There is just even
Hey.
if you explain it, oh, it's for work or I'm waiting. No.
No. Hey, look at you. It's me and
Because you
you.
don't know what you're in for.
Yeah.
You know what? You know when he or she tells their friends, whoa, what was so important they had to answer the phone right then and there. See,
Mm.
you're not protected
You know,
after. It's Malacca.
let's
Lose.
assume the night's gone pretty good. You get back to the door, kiss on the first date, MAGA or Malacca.
Nah, I'm gonna go Malacca. I still think you got to do a little hard to get. You got to leave a little bit. Leave a little bit
See,
for the next one.
but hold on a sec. Watch this, okay? So you say no, I say yes. But here's the thing. She goes, "Oh, kiss was pretty nice. Nightcap, MAGA or Malacca."
Yeah, see, I go MAGA because I mean, who really kisses anymore? You know what I mean?
So wait a minute. You won't kiss her at the door, but if she asks you in for a nightcap, you'll go in for the
Yeah,
nightcap.
you gotta
but no
go.
kissing in the nightcap.
No, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
All I'm saying is that you gotta gauge it. You don't go for the kiss. You do your thing. You call it a night, right? You gotta gauge it. I'm saying overall, don't look so needy. But if you get to the door, it's like, hey, you want to come inside? Well, you don't miss
Hey.
that opportunity.
No, of course not.
No,
Last one.
because you know.
What if the kiss and the nightcap turns into something a little bit more than a kiss, MAGA or Malacca on the first night?
Ultimately, that's the goal here.
Last one, it's kind of part of it, not really, but it should be, I guess. Masks on or mask off, MAGA or Malacca.
Mask on. Make sure you're both wearing masks. Double mask if you have to. Okay.
Double mask it if you have to. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And make sure to take your own mask off and see it and put it
Yeah.
yourself in the garbage.
You check that mask. You make
You
sure.
check that mask.
Check the mask.
If they tell you they got a mask for you, don't take it.
Don't take that mask.
Don't take
You have
that
your own mask. What are you, poor? What's wrong with you? You got
Keep a mask in your wallet. Keep a mask in your purse.
everywhere you go.
Don't ever trust when they tell you they've gotten the vaccine because you just don't know.
You don't know. You don't know. You don't know that for sure. What, has she got a
18
passport she's
years,
going to show you?
18
You don't know.
years. And on his 18th birthday, found out it wasn't his. She gave me money. Man, was that not just a great album? Forget the song. Great album.
Great
Kanye
album.
West, he's talented, man. He is. I'll give him that. He's a little bit crazy, but the guy's talented.
Amanda Nunes versus Kanye West. I'm liking that better.
No. Let's be real about it. Amanda Nunes, and I'm being serious about this right now, with Cowboy Cerrone.
See, you know what? I hear you. I'm actually kind of down with it. I just don't see him doing it. I just don't see,
Me and you could go into the octagon as a tandem to fight
Yeah.
Amanda Nunes, and you.
Oh yeah.
She'll. How many seconds? No, I'll be honest with you. How many seconds? I think she knocks me out in 8 seconds.
Yeah, you're 8. I'm like 5 minutes in. You know what I mean?
No, she's a wrecker, man. She's
Yeah, she
talented.
is.
She's a talented fighter. I'll tell you what else is talented. Our roster's talented. That's who's talented. Mitch is talented. Dimitri's talented. This whole thing's Amy's talented. God, we love our Amy.
She-
You know that. You see? Look, roster, thank you very much. Look, we got to sign off really here. Remember, it's at RLRT Podcast. If you're on Instagram and Twitter, Real Locker Room Talk to search us on Facebook. You can do that on YouTube, but we do have RLRT TV, which would be really appreciate if you could like and also subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, where are you?
We're trying to help this one grow as well. And of course, the podcast that you can listen, download, stream, love, share. Podbean, Spotify, as well as iTunes. Look, I always have a blast with you, Mitch. You as well, roster. This is episode 169. We do got to shove it in the locker because we have to hit the showers.
Bring it down. By the way, in the next couple of weeks, tracksuits.
Tracksuits. It's big. It's big.
It's a game changers.
Dude, this is crazy. Can I ask you a question? I love that we talk soccer. I like how we, what and we talk about it. We don't leave them in the dark.
No.
So for me, when the World Cup comes and the Euro Cup comes,
yeah,
I get really excited. I get right into it. I'm not as big into, not because I don't like it. I'm not as big into soccer as I once was, Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
But these international tournaments, it's like the Olympics. They suck me right in. Do you do you get sucked into it too? Do you find yourself watching the game?
Oh, dude, as much as I want it, I mean, this isn't obvious. If Greece was in it, you won't find me. I'll be in front of a TV watching.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the Euro makes me want to watch soccer. Yes. Same with the World Cup. For whatever reason, I won't watch soccer too much, like English Premier and all that stuff. I don't watch at all. But come countries with a soccer ball at their feet, yeah, I'm all over it. I don't know why. I love it, and I'm looking forward to it. And like I said earlier, listen, English fans, this is your time. Belgium, this is your time. France, very talented. Germany, you guys are wreckers anywhere and anytime. It's going to be a fun tournament. There's some teams in there, like, look, Turkey, North Macedonia, there's some team, Hungary. At the end of the day, congratulations for getting there because, you earned your way there, but you're just going to get wrecked. There are some teams that are just so stacked that are just going to wreck them. But yeah, man, to answer your question, I'm actually pumped about it. And it doesn't matter which game Italy, Turkey starts off the whole tournament.
Yeah,
I will definitely be watching.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be great. Yeah. It's gonna be great. What that's a good matchup too. I think that's actually a really good matchup. I know, it's Group A and it happens to be that way. And I mean, and where the tournament is as well. But Italy, Turkey is a good, solid matchup that Italy could lose this game, and then you got a story right away. And you got, Turkey's that type of team where they just get in and they can cause. They could cause some havoc. So I don't know. I like it too. It's nostalgic for me, Mitch.
It's fun, man. It's fun. I'm actually looking forward. I've been watching a little bit of the World Cup qualifying right now. USA, big, huge win against Mexico the other day. I don't know if you saw it on the penalty kick to win it. USA goalie stops it. Unreal. Man, soccer is that one sport that doesn't matter what you're into. It can be played anywhere at any time. That's the beauty of.
What I love too is because of COVID, we're getting it back to back. Usually we got a 2-year wait between Euro and World Cup. Now we're getting Euro Cup this year, and then next year we're getting World Cup. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and throw in the Olympics if you're a big nut when it comes to just cheering on your country. I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the Olympics.
I don't know what the big deal is, Mitch. Just don't have any fans. You're doing it everywhere else. What's the big deal?
I know, but the country's pretty, and the volunteers and the people are saying, you know what, we're still too into it. Don't bring anybody.
You know what? You know what? Why don't they just have a vaccinated representative country, like Team Vax?
Team Vax, yeah, exactly. And how about this? Hey, Japan, I'm sorry that you guys have to house some people. Do you know Greece has baseball fields? That's it. We built these. We didn't want them. We don't need them.